No, I always save bees.
Okay, no swearing. This is welcome to AI, the cool stuff. This is one of our peppercorn networking meetings, and we talk about AI stuff that's happened in the last week. So obviously the big story this week is that ChatGPT-5 dropped last night. So we'll obviously be looking at that, discussing that, as well as a couple of other things. So uh, right, as usual, we shall go around the room and introduce ourselves and just tell us a bit about our business and how we use AI. So, Steffi.
Oh, hello everybody. Steffi Lewis, 32-year veteran web developer, use AI all day, every day. In fact, Splug it is so integrated with OpenAI, as if they have a problem, then I can't do any work. Um, and very much looking forward to playing with GPT-5 and integrating it, although it seems to just be vomiting word salad at the moment. So whereas my chatbot, which you'll see later, was very concise and nice using 4.1. Now it's just like blah, 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 and I need to calm it down a little bit. But I'll use GPT-5 to tell me how to calm down GPT-5.
Okay. Shirley.
Good morning. I'm Shirley. I work in health and wellness. I work with people who want to change their life or their health. So their challenge might be money, their challenge might be time. I help to resolve whatever the issue is so they can live better lives. They can look good and feel fabulous. And you'll be pleased to know I've been playing with Copilot and Gemini and ChatGPT, comparing notes.
Well done, Shirley.
Well
I've been
done, you.
I'm trying to look at my LinkedIn profile to do something with it. So I've been sort of putting stuff in, and then my son came up and he said, there's a couple of people that are running programs that if you give it detailed instructions about what you're looking for in terms of prompts, it will create the prompts for you and stuff like that. But it's a long-winded thing, so you have to be very detailed, and you only have to put the information in once,
Yeah.
and it creates the template. So every time you want something, it'll know what you're about. So it'll do it tailored to your needs, basically. But I forgot what you said it was.
Project it depends what it is. There's projects in Gemini. There's gems. There's all sorts of things where you can um, uh, not have to keep keying in the same information. So and if you notice that sort of Microsoft's AI sort of suddenly starts sounding a lot better than it used to, it's because it's got ChatGPT-5 plugged into it. So but then Microsoft, I think, are one of the main investors of OpenAI anyway. So it's not surprising. So, Lucy, tell us about you. Tell us about your business and tell us how you use AI, which is all the time, I think. But let's go.
I'm Lucy from Growth AI. I'm a strategic AI consultant, and I use AI in pretty much everything. A lot of it is, especially that I've been working on at the moment, is automating all my admin because let's be honest, it takes far too much time doing the admin than what I would want to be doing, which is stuff like client to client sort of chat, if that makes sense. But my favorite tool for that is Zapier. I did start with Make, but I mean, even I wanted to chuck my laptop across the room with Make, so I transitioned to Zapier, which I found a bit easier.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Lucy. Andy.
Andy, I help people get more from their websites. My AI week has been interesting. Having had a fridge freezer go put on me yesterday, I thought I'd be clever and use Notebook LM and put all these URLs from potential fridges and freezers into it to compare them, and then discovered that they are blocked because the all the AOs and curries and all that lot are actively blocking things like that from going and using them for information, which is really annoying. So that was a bit of a downer. Also, another current challenge Steffi's world, really. Trying to set up a particular project and getting deep into the mires of how much it costs to buy API services, AI services in, stuff like that, just to get to an MVP. Just gone to a software developer to potentially create something, this project, and it involves stuff. And they said, well, you've got to buy all the licenses and stuff before we develop the product. And I'm thinking, well, surely you would just develop it yourself and show us the MVP working, then we'd take it over and put it on our license. But apparently not. So I'm actually completely stuck on that and don't know where to turn. But yeah.
Well, they should build it with their API keys, and then when they hand it over, you should just plug your own API keys.
That's what I would have thought. And I'm now thinking they're not the people. I need to find someone else to have a decent conversation.
A demo site with that's valid for their APIs.
Yeah. Might be a conversation, Steffi, possibly at some point.
Yeah, I can have a chat to you about it if you want to book a one-to-one. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
that'd
fine.
be good. Yeah, thanks.
Although I have to say the coding quality of GPT-5 is really good. It could actually build your MVP for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thought. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. ChatGPT-4 was rubbish at web apps.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
It might have been 5's a lot better. And I'm David Harris. I'm when I'm not doing this, I'm doing I do web design, and I'm not a part-time Viking. He's AI generated. This is and he's got more hair than me anyway, and it's darker. So yeah, so I do use AI all the time because I use it for creating content. I also use it for creating code, and I also use it for troubleshooting and things like that, which I find is a massive time saver. Because a lot of time, even with things that are I could troubleshoot myself reasonably easy, I can just screenshot something and drop it into I might be using ChatGPT now, but I was using Gemini because Gemini was a little bit better for that sort of thing. But it's better for website stuff. Gemini has been up to now, but we shall see where we go with ChatGPT-5. So yeah, that's me. Good, excellent. So yeah, the Notebook LM that Andy was just talking about, they've added some sort of video feature. It's kind of a bit like the interview one, you know. It's okay. But there's I just tried to generate one just now. Let's see what it is. So OpenAI have blocked Notebook LM as well. Not unsurprisingly, it's a Google product, but you can't drop in links from OpenAI. So all the updates they brought in, every single feature has got its own page. So I thought, yeah, just drop it into Notebook LM and we'll be able to see what's going on. But unfortunately, not. Let's just share this. So this is we just did this for ChatGPT for work. So it's got there was a PDF produced by OpenAI. So I asked it to give us the sort of bullet points, and the script is available on their release yesterday. So this is the one of the videos I've produced. I produced two. This is one I haven't listened to yet, but you may not be able to hear it properly because it'll be.
All right, let's jump right in. OpenAI has just unleashed its newest, most powerful model yet. Annoying sometimes. Then came GPT-4o, which was more like a college student. Smart, genuine.
So it's got, it's generated
problems at it from the American Invitational Mathematics exam. That's the crazy hard test you have to pass to get to the Math Olympiad. GPT-5 just.
So it's okay. I don't love it, but it's okay. There's
So if GPT-5 is PhD level, what the hell's GPT-6 going to be?
Exactly, yeah. Everyone's talking about ChatGPT-6 already. I think they're going to need a little rest. It's taken them 2 years to get this one.
Yeah.
And yeah. So introduce check your PhD level thing. So yeah, that was that. So it's a nice little feature, you know. I mean, it's I you can't really change the voices or anything, which is a bit irritating because I'd like an English accent rather than an American one. But
You can give it a hint that you want it in British. So you can put it prompt speaking a natural British English that's not too aristocratic.
yeah, but
But it does sound like an American trying to do an English accent.
on Notebook LM, because all I do is I just click video overview and it just generates it. It doesn't even ask you any questions. There's no prompts to put in. So
I had the same. It lost me at the first part where it said diving in, and you think, oh, okay, here we go again. It's an AI thing. You'd think they would perfect that, wouldn't you?
yeah, yeah. Well, maybe they will in the next when Gemini 3 comes out
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks. I suppose they're saving it up for let ChatGPT-5 take the headlines for a few days, and then they'll come back and say all our benchmarks beat ChatGPT-5. They're only 99%, we're 99.6%. You know? So we'll see what goes. Anyway, Steffi, do you want to show us your chatbot?
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. Hang on a
Oh,
minute.
let me.
You should turn sharing on, please.
I have. There you go.
Got it. I want to share that screen. Yeah. Right. Bear with me a second, caller. Right. Now he's moving on. Okay. So this is something that's going to be rolling out to all my blogging clients. So get my mouse on the right screen. So these are all the blogs that I produce for people week in, week out. So they're the last 6. This is actually the splogit.com homepage, and it's one of the only places that the chatbot is available. So I just mix in blog posts with what I do. However, we now have a chatbot in the corner. It does actually pop up with a little caption, but it only pops up with that caption once a day. So it has a little cookie that says, if you haven't seen it once a day, then don't show it. It just says, hi, I'm Amy, because that's the name of my chatbot. And it pops up there and it says, chat with Amy. Hi there, I'm Amy. What's your name? Or what I always do is I say, what's your name? Because it's useful. And I go, hi, I'm Steffi. And then it says, oh, hi, Steffi, lovely to meet you. What would you like to know about? So I'm using ChatGPT-4 Nano at the moment, which is why I'm getting sensible results. So you can say things like, what is Splogit? And it'll go blah, 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 having to think, blah, 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 blah. And then it'll tell you, there you go. So it tells you, it puts bullet points in there. And this is the key thing. This is the thing that other chatbots aren't doing, is it actually gives you a further reading link so you can read more. And all you do is you click it and it target top and it just opens it up for you. And the conversation's still in there, you know, so the conversation you've been having, and you can go, tell me more about Steffi. And it'll go off and tell you all about me and my cats, and I live in Hanslope, which is quite cool because I gave it that extra information. I said this is information about Steffi because people are going to want to know. You'll notice because it was extra information, not a blog post, it didn't actually add in a URL at the bottom because I said if you can't find a URL, then don't add them. But I like the animations. I like the fact that, you know, when it dives down and it comes back up again and it remembers it. It's using local storage, but also it's masking the API key because when, you know, if you were to look at the code for this, you wouldn't see the API key in there, which is a big no-no from OpenAI. It's all hidden away. So how do we get to that point? Well, we get to that point through here. So this is everything I use to, that's everything I use to set up a blog for a client, for a subscriber. This is my workflow. So reminders, edit, publish, mailers, sign up, sharer. This, when I click on the chatbot button, brings up these 4 buttons. There'll be another one in a while called FAQs. But in the settings, we've got things like Amy, it's the name of the chat bot, chat with Amy. So all the things that you saw in this box here, chat with Amy, whatever, ask button, reset button, what icon are we using in the bottom left-hand corner? And then we've got some very comprehensive instructions as well. You are Amy, helpful, friendly chat bot, blah, 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 blah. Different formats, use dash space at the beginning of bullets. Do not start your response with bullets. There should always be a paragraph of text before a bulleted list. Data usage rules. This is how we create the URLs, because when I send the data to ChatGPT, I send for each blog post as a title, as a URL, and there's the content text. And it actually uses that, and it knows which URL it came from, which is why we get the URL handling as well. That shouldn't be in there anymore, but don't worry about it. Because we can actually go off and get other websites as well and bring it all in. So I could bring in all the web pages from steffilewis.com if I wanted to. Extra info is just extra info, in there. It's like, tell me about Steffi. It's just a block of text. Well, we can also bring in website URLs, and then it would actually reference them. And like it says, if it's splogit.com, open it in top. If it's steffilewis.com or whatever website I put in there, it'll open it in a new tab as well. Hasn't got any web page URLs found. But for example, I could go and get let's just say, go and get a news article from the BBC if I wanted to reference that. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, anyway, I could just drop that in there. But I could just say I want to get an individual URL, so I could actually add in https David, what's your website address?
Which one? I've got davidharris.uk.
davidharris.uk. So what it does when I add that, it actually goes off to David Harris UK and grabs it. But if I did a get all, it would actually go to davidharris.uk and pull all the URLs out and then get all the text off every single page in the website. The moment I'm just telling it to go and get one, you see it's actually working on it. So it's gone to your website. Hopefully it's working on it. Otherwise, this will be a typical demo crashes halfway through. I know, but we'll see when it comes back. Is it work? It says it's work. It says it's working. But what it does is it extracts all the text it can find on that web page and then uses that web page as an answer. But if it gives me an answer from your web page, it will actually, the read more will be your web page. That's the cool thing about it, you see. So I don't think this is working. I think it's crashed. But you get the idea. Either that you've got a very, very slow processor. Come on. There you go. We know it did it. It did it. Oh, look, davidharris.uk, 5,842 characters. So, for example, if I go and take a look at it, oh, come on. It's pulled all that text out. Some text I'll edit out of it like that. I don't need that. I don't need all this gubbins at the bottom. I don't know where we'd start that. Probably here.
Yeah,
and update it, so that's fine. And I'll say, who is David Harris? There you go. David Harris is a web design professional over 20 years of experience in the field. See, it knows, it's clever. It just read the text and went, oh, David Harris is a web designer. And there you go. It's put a link in to your website. That'll probably appear on the top frame because I haven't told it anything from David Harris goes to a new window. But you get the idea. And if I then get rid of that, so let's get rid of it. And it'll kill the page, which is fine. Come on, get on with it. Get on with it. So it's doing all its work in real time, which is quite cool. My computer is so slow. This is normally blindingly quick. Come on.
Always the way.
Yeah. Oh.
It wasn't a meeting when you was doing that, Steffi.
Sorry?
It wasn't on a meeting when you was doing that.
Yeah, I think that might be it because Zoom's eating all my bandwidth. What's fine. Yeah, it's all right. Anyway, there you go. It's done it. It's got rid of it. So if I just reset the conversation, say, who is David Harris? The answer will be,
Thank God, I include.
I haven't got a clue. Sorry, I can't help you with that. So you see, you're just building up web pages and blog posts, and there'll be FAQs in there as well. So you can just add random information if you want to. And then it sends it all off and actually does it. The nice thing about ChatGPT-5, which is what I want to do this weekend, is there's now a 400,000 character limit. So all my blog posts, all my web pages, all my FAQs and extra information, they will all fit within 400,000 characters. So it just works, it just works, which is cool. So yeah, so that's rolling out to every single one of my my blog subscribers over the weekend, hopefully over the weekend. And then my next stage is to probably create a chatbot product using this technology. Now I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it. I don't really want to do it on a token basis. I'd rather do it on a subscription. So I might say unlimited chatbots for $9.99 a month or $19.99 a month. I don't know yet. David, what would you pay for unlimited chatbottery?
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I've got a client who's attempting to use Copilot for their chatbot on their site, and it's doing a really bad job. And I don't know whether yours is going to be able to do it in time, because of course people put things in there, and I have the feeling that when it comes back with something that it can't respond to, or it doesn't know the answer to just like that, it's almost like the customer, the person who's got the chatbot, wants to know that, like get a summary of those things each day or week or whatever, just so they can think, oh, that's interesting. This is something that couldn't be delivered, or this was, or analyze all the chats, for example, and find things that I hadn't thought about. That's worth thinking. It's going to be an advantage.
So one of the things it does is it keeps track of the conversations as well. So you can see David Harris can't help you, but who's David Harris? There's the information. So this is actually quite a useful analysis tool, because if it can't answer something that's obvious, you just create a new FAQ and put the answer in. So
but you could feasibly take that chunk of text from a week or something, use something else to analyze it, to then summarize to you instead of you looking for all the chats.
Yeah, I mean, you could just drop that into ChatGPT-5 and say, analyze this. What's the most popular question? You know, that sort of thing. You can do whatever you like with it.
I was thinking more like Lucy would probably say, you know, whether it's a Zapier or a Make type thing, just to sort of hook it all up together and do it automatically.
There's no reason you can't do it, because this page in Splogger is actually public.
Right.
So there's nothing dangerous in any of these. So I didn't secure them. So for example, you can see here's the charts, and this is all the tracking and this, that, and the other. These are all your posts in the blog and the performance, that sort of thing. So chatbots in there as well. So if you could actually do a Zap or whatever that can just suck all this information in, you know, there's no reason you can't run the analysis automatically or have it in a dashboard, so you never even have to look at this page. But what I do recommend is that every now and again you just reset it just to clean the page up.
There's no doubt in my mind that these sort of things will take over from traditional navigation in sites over time.
Yeah.
It's just when and who's going to break out and start doing it in a big way.
You've got to make sure. I mean, I've worked very hard to make sure that my chatbot doesn't make stuff up.
Yeah.
And I've the instructions, do not answer if it's an hallucination. If you can't find an answer from the data supplied, do not answer. Yeah. You know, thing. I don't want you to give me a recipe.
It was inclined to leak data, wasn't it, from ChatGPT, and it doesn't.
Yeah, there was some of the early stuff was making stuff up completely. It would just make it up. It would give me URLs that didn't exist. You know, so I've had to sort of nail that down. When I plugged GPT-5 Nano into my chatbot, it was just spewing ideas. It was bizarre. So I need to set the reasoning down and I need to set the verbosity down as well. So they're the two things I need to add into the prompt.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've got a client who she's got a chatbot that I've created, and it's kind of just it can only answer stuff from the website by preference, and then anything it gets from ChatGPT for horticultural questions, but it's not going to answer the history of the Neanderthals or some sort of, you know, any other question outside of a horticultural question. And it works pretty well. It does, if you ask it a non-flowery question, it does say, sorry, I can't answer that, bit like your one, but it's, but no, it looks good. I mean, if I was having a system where I could create unlimited chatbots for 19.99 a month, that's pretty reasonable, I think. So I mean,
That's what I was thinking about that. I mean,
I was deploying it around clients' websites, you know, it could.
I like playing with token ideas, but I also like regular money coming in on a specific date. So I think I'd rather do it as a subscription. And then if I use ChatGPT-5 Nano, because it seems the cheapest of the lot, it's only, I can't remember, but compared with 4.0 Nano, which is what I'm using, it's actually cheaper. I think so.
Well, I guess the most obvious thing is to go to web agencies, allow them that for a certain number of their clients, so limit it to a certain extent, even though it's not limited. And for X pound a month, they can have that many chatbots on their client sites.
Yeah, I think if you don't subscribe, it'll limit you to like 50,000 characters. But if you do subscribe, you'll get 400,000 characters. So, you know, you need to put a limit in there somewhere. They can have it for free, but they can't do much with it. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. Or maybe.
I mean, David, thinking about your customers and what that does, can you see feasibly they would pay a little bit more to you if you had that sort of thing?
Yeah. If you had a live chatbot and they could, you know, submit any updates and things like that, then.
Because the power is in the agencies, not necessarily the individual businesses that want to do it, because that's an easier way to get money faster.
Yeah.
The other alternative is you pay a subscription per chatbot, maybe $4.99 a month per chatbot. So if you want an extra chatbot, you just add a new subscription for it.
Yeah,
and
you could do that.
Then
you're
charge, you know,
you charge it home.
Yeah, because if you were charging me like $4.99 a chatbot and I was charging the customer 15, I don't know, you know, sort of customers I've got small businesses that they may not go for that. I don't know, but
yeah, it's got to be low cost enough.
You'd have to demonstrate the value of it, you know.
I think it would have to be, you would have to let them play with it free for a period of time and then charge after that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'd build in a free trial. There wouldn't be that, a free trial with one chatbot, you know, and they can just do what they want with it. And then after 14, I mean, I always do 14 days on a free trial.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it either reduces it to 10,000 characters if you don't, you know, that's it, or you subscribe. So there's a choice: is you subscribe per chatbot or you subscribe overall for unlimited chatbots.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
And hands up for a per chatbot subscription. And hands up for David.
I think you could potentially have both. Like if you had a per chatbot for $4.99, but then somebody for 20 could have
limited
20 or 10 or whatever, and then you just bolt on. Like you can have 10 for 20 quid, say, and then you would then bolt on another 20. You know, you buy blocks of chatbots, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do it per chatbot or all chatbots.
Right. Okay.
Because once the subscription set up, I don't want them, you know.
No, but that subscription would then stick. I mean, people would rarely move from one block to the next block. They'll be setting up a new subscription essentially for more chatbots, aren't they?
I'll have a think about it. I like the per chatbot model.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't get like an agency.
No, you wouldn't. No, they would fight that.
I mean, so they want to pay an overall subscription.
Well, they wouldn't pay an overall, like we do with our customers. They pay when they white label, they pay a certain fee for a certain amount of allowance that they can use however they want to use.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And they would pay a higher rate for that. Well, no, they'd actually pay a cheaper rate than if they bought it directly, but they pay you a higher rate. For an agency, if you said, right, here's 100 quid a month, whatever the number is, and you can put that on up to whatever 50 websites or whatever your number is, they'd be like, yeah.
Because I haven't even built the system yet, so
I could just see how much that would, even for very small businesses, like a little builder's website or whatever it is, you could see the impact that would have just by having that in there.
Yeah. Well, I've got to convert it to JavaScript this weekend because that's actually built into the core of my platform. What I need to do, because I need to be able to put it onto my clients, my subscribers' website as well, so that it talks about pages from their site and blog posts. But you see, on Splogger, it does a _top to open a blog post. But when it talks about, like, David's website, that was blank. So it set the target as blank. But on the website, it needs to do it the other way around. So for the website, the target is top, but the blog would then be target blank, you see. So it's alt target _blog. But I need to get that finished. So I need to get the JavaScript done this weekend so I can do that. We're getting there, though. And once all that done, I can start thinking about building my chatbot product.
Yeah, because it's I think that's I do find them useful. I mean, a lot of people are a bit ambivalent about them at the moment, but I think I think maybe, because I mean, chatbots have been around a long time, but then people were trying to charge £100 a month for a chatbot, telling you you're going to get your money back,
Yeah.
Which clearly not. Okay, shall we talk about ChatGPT-5? Why not? There's
It's not on desktop yet, is it? Oh, I've not got it on desktop. I've only got it on mobile.
My desktop is on because I started working at 6 this morning, and I went, oh, it's colourful.
Yeah.
And you've got it on yours, have you? Okay, mine's not doing it. That's strange.
Mine is. I've got 5 on my desktop.
Mine wouldn't come. I mean, I've got a paid account, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So then I've logged out, and I've just created a new account, a free account, and it's there. So my free account. So a new free person, someone who's been paying those bastards £20 a month for a couple of years, you don't get it.
I got my premium subscription.
I think it's just probably.
But sometimes it is like I've noticed that some people get some things from ChatGPT and others don't. Like, it's so random because I have 2 accounts for my 2 different things, and one of them will have it, but then the other won't, even though they're both on the same subscription. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Anyway, this is my ChatGPT summary. I'm using Gamma. Did you know Gamma, Lucy? It's a way of producing these things, and I produce a lot of stuff on it. So it's sort of like we just discussed. It's a PhD level. It now pauses to think. It doesn't need the same. You don't have to choose between speed and intelligence. It'll decide whether it needs speed or intelligence, whether it's just responding to a factual thing or whether it needs to think about it. So it calibrates its own time for thinking, and it does. So there's no separate reasoning model, and he said it's by far their smartest model ever, which it would be. Benchmark tests, I won't go into those too much because I don't even know what they mean very much. I know what they mean. I know what they are, but SWE bench 74.16. It's okay. It looks a little bit faster than O3, but but they said that they're not really. The focus isn't on benchmarks because some of the benchmarks were already on 98% and they've gone to 99. It doesn't mean a lot. So it's more about the interaction with the end user is more important than the actual benchmark tests. agentic coding. I've seen people using it for agents to go book themselves a hotel room in Chicago and things like that. There's several YouTube videos on that, and it's working a lot better than GPT-4 agents, which kind of didn't. It kind of stopped. I got halfway there and just stopped. So this gets a lot better further on, and bring in beautiful, effective code. You don't really need to know any code to produce a web app. We'll try one in a minute.
Vibe coding.
Yeah, they had a. I don't know if anybody saw. I know Steffi did. Did you see the one where he created an app for learning French? For his.
I missed that. I liked the app that they created about wings.
Right. Yeah. So
Wing.
they're doing how much.
Yeah.
Whether your plane's going to fly or not.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. But another one, he just keyed it in words, said he wanted a web app to help his girlfriend learn French. And it was, and he had little features gamifying it, with like something going around a mouse going around eating cheese. And every time it ate a piece of cheese, it come up with a new word. And every time she got one right, it kept her score every day. And it was really, it was kind of almost it was as good as what's that one everybody uses? Got it on my phone, Duolingo, and it knocked it up in seconds, and it was quite remarkable. So I can see people are obviously going to be starting developing web apps that are, you're only limited by your imagination in a lot of ways. Custom games and simulations. Enhanced writing and communication. I was trying it last night, and it was way better than 4. With I asked it. I use both because I use one on my computer, one on my phone, and one was asking it questions about excuses for cancelling a party, and that it was a bit of a fall around, and the ChatGPT-4 did come up with stuff, but ChatGPT-5 was a lot funnier and a lot more humorous, and which is what I asked it to be, a lot more tongue in cheek, and it was just better worded. It was just flowed better, So it's supposed to have enhanced emotional resonance. So you don't really know what that means until you actually read it, and then it's kind of a lot more. It's less AI, what we were saying before about all those buzzwords, and more not. So they did active. I think this is what we were talking about a little while ago, about moving SVGs. So you could, if you tilted your wings by so much, you're going to fly or crash, So it's a study and learn thing that they demonstrated yesterday. Healthcare. There was a lady there who'd she was diagnosed with cancer. She got a letter from the hospital. She was trialing ChatGPT-5 and telling her she had it had a lot of complicated words with carcinoma at the end. She didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. And she didn't really understand the letter. She didn't really understand what would happen next. So she just scanned it in, and she said that she found she could then make informed decisions about her treatment based on what it is. On one of the medical side, one thing that they're pushing for this ChatGPT-5 as well, saying that its medical understanding is much higher than any previous AI model. So it's that's quite interesting. It's still only giving you information. It's not like a AGI. It's not like working out new treatments. It's just giving you the right advice based on what's already available.
They do bombard you with information when you get diagnosed. I remember that. I actually had my friend Kirsty with me to translate everything for me because I was just Oh, cancer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you've got the emotional side of being told, as well as all these long, complicated words and stuff that you may not
That's
instantly
exactly what
understand.
happened to me. If I hadn't had cancer, because we didn't have ChatGPT-5, I wouldn't have known what the hell was going on.
No, no. So there's you got just the as you'd expect. They say it's the most factual model ever, and it hasn't eliminated hallucination. So, but they say they've greatly reduced it. So we shall see how that goes. But that the other thing that I don't think is in here, this slideshow, is that they've deprecated all the other models. So there'll be no models apart from 5. And there's if you've got
Oh,
the pro version, there is um, I think it's 5 Think, where you're forcing it to think longer about problems than it was before. But that's the only difference. And they've got a really good. They're quite generous to free users as well. So I haven't tried the voice yet. Natural voice interaction. Um, Voice capabilities sound incredibly natural. I think it used to sound pretty natural before. So paid users receive nearly unlimited access. So that's good. I do use the chat. I'd be interested to see, because it will now interact. You switch on your camera, and you can interact with it with what you're seeing. So Gemini Live have done that for a while, but it's not perfect. And I've been trying to do an asset register using Gemini Live, and it's it's like a church hall, and there's 60 chairs, and it told me there were 42. So that's no good if you're doing an asset register. So I'm going to try this out and see if it's a bit more accurate. So yeah, so it's got it's got extra memory, which even there were quite generous memory things before. I was running out on the. I mean, you run out almost straight away on the free version, but on the paid version, it's how much it remembers. Like if you're doing a big project, like I'm doing a big project with my Copper's Knob, and writing books and writing stories and doing movies and images and things, and it can run out of memory, but this will allow me to carry on a lot longer before having to. It's a good idea to download it anyway and save it, but it's it should carry on much longer. So what we we're talking before, the free access to GPT-5, it's got limits. I don't know what those limits are, but when you run out, you kind of almost won't know. It'll just switch to the mini version. I don't know whether it comes up with a message to say, hey, we're switching you to mini now because you've run out of free uses, or not. Plus users higher usage caps. Pro uses unlimited with extended thinking. And I guess the pro is that's $200 a month, isn't it? That one, is it? That am I right? So yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So that's a 200.
very expensive.
So you've got to really want that to do it, because I think we're paying 20, aren't we, at the moment?
yeah,
So there's APIs that Steph has already gone into, 5 mini and nano options. It's doubled the token context window for the API. I don't know, does that make a difference? I suppose it does. You can import more words.
Yes, I mean it was 128,000 on 4.0.
Yeah.
Now it's up to 400,000. That makes a massive difference because,
Mm.
especially for the likes of me, you can imagine I'm sending huge amounts of text to it. So if I've got 100 blog posts and they're all 500 characters each, that's quite a chunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, not for I'd be about 2,000 each.
Okay. So that's
I've just logged. I've actually got into my GPT, my 5 now. It was a caching thing. You have to clear cache, and it comes up.
Right. Okay.
But I've just asked it in 5, what's different in GPT-5 compared to 4? It says it appears that GPT-5 has not yet been officially released by OpenAI. It's so funny.
Yeah. So
That
yeah, it's funny. I'll let me just try something that I've used in Google Gemini. I just was just playing around earlier, and it didn't give me a great response. But this is I was just writing. I'm just creating a website. I haven't given any images or anything or anything, and I've got I was not working at all now. Oh yeah, that is the home story contact page. Okay, that all works fine. And I was this is a website called AIthecoolstuff.com, although it isn't. It's just I was just scoping some ideas. So I gave ChatGPT the same prompt as I gave it, and it was terrible. At least this has produced something that's got a bit of color in it. You know, obviously that's just the first run of it. You know, and I haven't put anything in there. I was just going to put in the code and ask it to code. Is it gonna? Oh, there it is. So it's I've put exactly the same prompt as I put into Gemini. I put that same prompt into 4, and it was just a text website. It was awful, grey background. It was looked like something from 20 years ago, from somebody who didn't know what they were doing. And so this is so I've just said create a website called AI the Cool Stuff. We run a Zoom meeting each Friday, discuss useful AI stuff, and it's very short. Contact form as well. Going to David at Peppercorn Web. It's gonna do a mail too, because I haven't put in the right. I amended that prompt so that it used the form, but it's writing the code pretty quickly. It's a lot faster than I could write it, because I wouldn't know what I'm doing. There you go. So if we run the code, so okay, it's yeah,
Brilliant.
no, it's still has it gone to, yeah, no, it's hasn't okay, so it has, the links are there. It's kind of I think Gemini's styling, maybe we'll have to mess around with the because obviously you can amend it. An error occurred.
There you go. Cannot preview your code. There's an error.
Yeah, yeah. So it will debug itself, and it's and then it'll go through again. Yeah, because it's kind of better than ChatGPT-4 was doing, and but I'm going to be more interested in creating web apps and see how that goes. But I think that was
It's going to be interesting when I type in all my, well, when I paste in all my hard coding for the chatbot and say I want the JS version of this.
yeah,
That'll be interesting to see what it comes up with.
yeah, because it's just writing the it's just formatting the blog post that I was putting in there. I was just interested to see what I could create in like a few seconds. So it thought about it for 17 seconds, and now it's editing it. I've noticed with this and with Gemini, if you change the slightest little thing, it rewrites the whole website from scratch. So
Oh, added extra code there.
Yes. Well, let's not. Okay, we won't be sorting that out now. But it's doing a better job than before. I could have been more specific. I could have said put in a hero image. I could have given it a link to a hero image, and then I could have said set it out in, I could have given I could sort of design elements that I was more specific about, and then it would done it. I think that's quite promising compared to what we were getting before. So I'll be interested to say create the web apps. I think that would be something I'd be really interested in doing. So and it's because Gemini created a chatbot for me using a free Google API, and it's and you can get it to modify what it's giving you there as well. So that's quite interesting. So it could be that, these are all possibilities. And if Gemini is upgrading their system as well, I think Gemini, for my money, Gemini's been better at coding than ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been good at other things. So, but we shall see where it goes.
Where do you feel things like Claude are fitting into it all? Because obviously there's going to be a battle between systems, isn't there?
Yeah. Claude has said that they're going to focus on coding rather than on being a run-of-the-mill chatbot. It's still going to be able to answer your queries and questions and things, but their upgrades and their focuses are all about coding.
Right.
So it would be, I'd have to try that as well. I haven't got a subscription for Claude, but I have for Gemini and ChatGPT. So that's why my focus has been on there. But maybe should be giving Claude a try for coding, see what it comes up with. See if things
I've been using it for creating content, and it seems a lot stronger than ChatGPT sometimes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And obviously Grok's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So that they're paid. They've been doing it free for a while, and they're introducing their paid tier, and that's more expensive than the others. I don't know where that's going either, but that's all in the mix. Anyway, I shall stop the recording.